Hey, what's up, guys? Hidden Wisdom 2020 here. So, I want to run down a real quick foundation for the point that I'm going to get at. And actually, when I get to the point, it's going to be very simple, very basic, and very quick. But I simply have to lay a foundation. And I've already posted about the foundation that I'm going to tell you about right now. So, bear with me if you already know what I'm talking about. I'm just getting to a point. So, we know in the Bible that there's a 6,000 year period, okay? This is the foundation, okay? There's a 6,000 period. We know this from Genesis 6:3. Genesis 6, verse 3, where he prophesies 120 years that his spirit will contend with man. So that is 120 jubilees. A jubilee is a 50-year cycle, and 50 times 120 is a 6,000 year period, okay? So basically, we're in the very first book of the Bible, the book of the beginnings, and God declares the end from the beginning. So that's one time that he did it. Then in the 6 days of creation, on the very first page of the Bible, starts out, and we know from 2 Peter 3:8, 2 Pete, oh Pete, 3:8, that a day is like 1,000 years to the Lord, and 1,000 years is like a day to the Lord. So again there, he showed us through the 6 days of creation, a 6,000 year period, that his spirit will contend with man. And again, the number 6 is the number of man. So it's all tied together. This is God declaring the end from the beginning. Now, that is just a quick foundation that I've set. So you have Jesus, and from Jesus to 2,000 years, it's about where we're at, but the only depending factor is that we need to find out when Adam fell. That's the whole controversy. So then you go back. You go back to Adam, and you can trace from Adam to Jesus fairly easy, which roughly 4,000 years. This is common knowledge. There's not really any controversy about that, and there's not really any controversy about that. The only controversy is about when Adam fell, because again, remember, the clock didn't start when Adam was one with God and his spirit was not contending with God. The process of this 120 jubilees started when Adam fell, so the 6,000 years started then. So that's what we're going to deal with. Now, the point that I want to make is that you don't have to be a professional. You don't even have to. That's all you have to understand in order to figure out when this time is up. Where do we start the 6,000 years, and when does it end? So when you figure out where it starts, then you can figure out when it ends. So there are a lot of people out there that are very good at the Hebrew calendar, counting the jubilees and counting the Shemitahs, which are 7-year cycles. And again, I'm not a professional at these. I just understand what they are, how they work, just a little bit, very basic. But you got to understand that the Bible, even a simple man can understand these patterns, and you can see it for yourself if you just know what you're looking for. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the day that Adam fell, the year, not the day, the year. Because God said, my spirit will not contend with man forever, for his days shall be 6,000 years. So when God's spirit started contending with man is when Adam fell, because before that there was no contention. Adam and God were one, linked up. Boom, 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 right? So that year that he fell, how do we find out? Well, here is the easy way to do this. Jesus in the Bible is called, what is he called? The second Adam. Symbolically. And you have to understand that the whole Bible is a pattern. When did Jesus start his ministry? 30 years old. 30 years old. Well, there's our clue right there. Jesus started raising the dead at 30 because Adam died at 30. Spiritually. And physically he died later. So, when did Adam sin? 30 years old. That's how you find out. It's all a repeating pattern. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. and there is no new thing under the sun.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 5.
That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past.
You see how it shows us this circle? A Hebrew year is 360 days. And a classic Hebrew year. 360 degrees. Get it? Circle. Meet me right back where we started from. And this is the easiest way to figure out when the end is. So it's what year? 2030. That's why you have Agenda 2030. They know these things. They're telling the people of the world in a different way, but the people of the Bible, we know why they have Agenda 2030. No secret. There it is. The easiest way to figure out when this 6,000 years is up. So again, I say 2029, 2030 because 2029 is actually when he comes back, but 2030 is like right in that same area, right? So 2029, I believe the rapture will be at 2025 because there's only 42 months left in the book of Revelation. And again, always going back to my classic examples and their predictive programming, which is the Terminator movie. I always mention it. In the Terminator, John Connor comes back with the Resistance to fight the AI in 2029. Go figure, right? What a coincidence. 2029. The word John means Yahweh is gracious. It's John the Baptist, John of Patmos. This is a very big name, okay? And they did that on purpose. And again, in the book of Joshua, which means Yahshua, the J is actually a Y. The J is just new because it was just barely invented. But it means Yahshua, okay? It's a type and shadow of Jesus. And where Joshua fought, all the tribes and all that stuff was at Ai. It's all in the Old Testament. That's what I've been trying to tell everybody. The New Testament is concealed in the Old Testament. The Old Testament is revealed in the New Testament in the Spirit, by the Spirit. So these are all patterns. It's all patterns. The Old Testament is all types and shadows of the future. And that is the easiest way, if you don't know anything about anything, how to find out when the end is. You just have to understand there's 6,000 years. And you have to understand when Adam fell. And Jesus, symbolically, is the second Adam, without the transgression, of course. So Adam died at 30, and Jesus started his ministry at 30. There we go. God bless you guys.
Now the mountains all are blushing, and they don't know what to say, except a good long line of praises for my lovely Lady May. Now I ain't the toughest hickory that your axe has ever felled, but I'm a hickory just as well. I'm a hickory all the same. I came crashing through the forest as you cut my roots away, and I fell a good long ways for my lovely Lady May.